Hey guys, it's Tags and Faction, and we're doing another, I don't know, tutorial type update video for Minecraft Sexiest server. Today we're going to go over a couple of the new things that we added, as well as a more in-depth look at factions for some of the people out there that are maybe having some problems learning how to get it all working. So first things first, this is the spawn where you come. So the portal room, which a lot of people have found. For those who have not, it is right to the right, pretty easy to find. This will take you to multiple different spots across the worlds, across different cities, all that kind of stuff. So I'll just go over them real quick. This first one here is sort of a learning one. We haven't actually added too much to it yet, but there is a falsewood tutorial if you go there. Just a quick thing to show you how to use these signs as well. If you right click on them, it's going to tell you which different places you can get to. This one obviously only has one. Once you've selected where you want to go, you just hit this little switch and it'll pop up, walk through there, and it'll take you to where it says it's going to take you to. This one right here is free. There's a couple others that I'll show you that cost $250 to ride, but that's really cheap. So this one here takes you to the survival world, which I hope most people have figured out by now, and that's where we've got factions enabled, and there is more information on the website sexyminecraft.com, so go check it out. This one will take you to Water's Edge. It is also free. That's the other protected city that we have in the main world. So if you're wanting a lot or something that's maybe a little bit cheaper than Rosewood, you can go to Water's Edge. They're cheaper there, but we don't have a market or anything like that, and there's no plans to add that out there either. That one's pretty self-explanatory to the nether. So this one is the one that will take you around multiple places in Rosewood. So you can see if we right click again on the sign, we've got multiple places that we can go to. I'm not going to go into any of them except the east side really quick. Again, this one does cost you $250 to travel with, but that's pretty cheap. Manors, you can go see the manor lots. You can also take this straight to the marketplace. But what I'm going to show you is east side. This is Rosewood east side. It saves you a bit of a walk. So you just hit the button, hop right in, and we are now on the east side of Rosewood. Over that direction is where we came from. You can see right here that I'm looking at, that's the marketplace right there. So it saves you a bit of a walk coming over here. You're on the back side of the courthouse. We have more lots for sale here. We also have up here some mini manor lots, so they're not quite as high as the ones that are over in that direction, but they're big. I think it's 908 squares big, so 186,000. So there's that option, as well as smaller lots. There's a couple here, and way over here you can see some people have already bought some. We'll probably keep expanding on the back side of there. So there's some more lots for sale here that are obviously a little bit cheaper. They are even cheaper per square in Water's Edge. This building is a new one that Michael Caveman and Chev built and designed. It is awesome. It's what is it, a furnace, right, Faction? Yeah, it's a burning
Lava
furnace.
furnace.
Yeah. The thing that is cool about this building, and I'm sure people are going to start using now that they see the video, this is provided to anyone who plays on the server. It is free, but you're obviously going to want to make sure that you stay there and collect your stuff afterwards. So everyone has the normal furnaces. This is provided to people in Rosewood. And let's go take a look. So there's a note here. Pay attention to that. Stay on the pressure plate, and you will see why. Looks like Michael's already using one. Checking his out. Okay, so when we walk in, the door closes behind us. That's the reason why you want to stay on the pressure plate. If I hop off, the door is going to come open, and you do not want people coming in here while you're in here doing your business. So stay on the pressure plate, keeps the door closed. It keeps anybody from being able to get into your little room here while you're working on it. So how does this work? It's basically a furnace that is always running. So you can see it's got a little red thing here, so you don't actually have to provide any fuel source. But the big benefit to this is if we stick our iron ore in here, you will see that the speed that it creates it at is 4 times the speed of a normal furnace. So if you got a lot of iron that you need to smelt, or any ore for that matter, this is a great place to do it because it's going to do it 4 times faster. It's essentially the equivalent of using 4 furnaces at the same time. So it's going to be a lot faster. We're probably going to introduce these for factions to be able to purchase, to put into their faction bases. We haven't quite come to the idea of how that's going to work yet, but keep your eye on the website because there's probably going to be people going after these once we make them available to factions. There may even be one, I think we may include one, I think we talked about a faction, putting one in the competition that we're having for the banner. So I think that's over in about a week. I think we gave everybody till the 14th of July to come up with a banner for the server. Whoever wins, there's a bunch of choices that you have. So come check this out. This is on the east side of Rosewood. Really easy to get to if you use the portal. And I'm just going to take these out now because it's almost done. Alright, so that's, and then again, getting out, you just come off the pressure plate and it'll leave the door open. One thing to keep in mind too is when you're in this building you cannot use any commands, so you can't use /spawn, /home, /anything. All commands are blocked when you're in this area. We did that originally to stop people from leaving the doors locked, but Chev and Michael came up with a pretty clever way of making sure that the doors always stay open. So that is it for that. So we'll go back over to I'll just so you guys see it again. Right click the sign, pick where you want to go. So we'll go back to the portal room, left click, and go through. That's it. We're back here. So that's how the portals work. I think that's it, right, Faction, for updates?
Yeah.
Okay, so the next thing we're going to go into, this is the factions. It's kind of a pain in the ass because his name's Faction. This is the advanced factions information. You've hopefully already watched the video on basic factions, how to create them. They do cost $500,000. How you can claim land, all that kind of stuff. If you haven't watched that, go watch that video first, then come back to this one. This is going to talk about some of the more advanced stuff with factions, how to protect yourself, how to build things to try and limit sort of your vulnerability if people are attacking you and keeping your protections up. So I created a faction just to test, and I just quickly built a little outline and stuff, and I'm just going to hop out here so we can show you a couple things. So first things first, you saw when I walked in that it said that I was in faction, what did it say? Test faction, default faction description. If we walk I'm sort of holding shift just to stay on the line, you can see I've built it right on the line of wilderness and test faction. So in almost every circumstance, this is a really, really poor way of designing your faction home. The first problem you're going to have is if somebody does find your base, especially in a case like this where I have not built a roof, I've got maybe an open castle concept or something to that effect. If faction were to come up as an opposing, he's not part of this faction, he can tower up right up the side of my base, and he's now inside the base. He can wreak havoc, do whatever he wants, kill people if they're there. It's a really bad way of designing your base. You really don't want to have your building right along the edge of your faction line. You can see right now if we take this thing that he's... Now again, a roof here though, a roof would help. I mean, if I had a roof, faction might get on top, but there may not be very much he can do. But it's still going to be a bad idea because you really don't want somebody being able to just tower straight up into your base. One thing to note now that he is up here, doors as well as... So you can see that door right there. You can see faction can't get into it. He can try and open it. Well, I'm assuming you have bypass on. Okay, well, hold on. Let me close the door. Faction didn't plan properly. Ooh, I got a graceful roll. Okay, so now that faction has turned his stuff off, if faction tries to open the door, he's not going to be able to get in. He also, if I open the door and let him in, which is stupid, but let's say I did open the door and let him in, he also can't open up any trapdoors. that are inside of a faction. So your trapdoors and your doors are all blocked from opposing factions from opening. Allies, though, right? Did we figure allies were able to open them, right? Yes, no?
I'm not sure.
I can't remember. If you're going to make an ally, though, expect that they may be able to open those doors up. But anyone that is neutral, enemy, or just nothing will not be able to open these doors up. So what you need to do with that in mind is build something similar. I mean, obviously don't take my idea because it looks ugly as hell, but the idea of this is where my /F home is. This is where the spawn, the base is for my faction if I were to have one here. This is a safe zone. If faction was to be out there and he had, you know, raided our town, and he had managed to get in, and I was dumb enough not to have a roof and he got up, you know, this keeps me safe. Faction can't get in here. We can sort of spawn. I even, just for the sake of showing people, I threw chests along the top, you know, like have something ready so that if something does happen, you've got armor, you've got some weapons, maybe something that you can grab to try and defend yourself and keep them out. But plan ahead, and you really got to think ahead for your spawn point. You don't want people to be able to just jump in, take over your spawn point, because they can farm you. You're going to spawn here every time unless you can quickly type /spawn, but with combat tag on, which is if you hit another player and you tag them as PvP, they're not going to be able to use a command to get out of it. So really plan this area properly and make sure that you're not going to get camped if somebody does invade it. The maximum power any player can go to, we've changed now to -2, so instead of -10 they can go to -2. So it does help factions a little bit, but you still, the potential is still there for being camped at your spawn. So this room is just as important as what we're going to go over in a second, which is the outside. You really need to plan ahead and make sure that you have a spawn zone that's going to be safe from people getting into, and that you have an area to be prepared and actually get ready to go. So that's that. So let's go back out here, faction, and get rid of your little tower here. Alright. I'm just going to come back out so we pick these up. Okay, so we saw already that faction was able to tower straight up, so we want to make sure that he can't do that. Now, if faction were to come into our base in here, he can't place down any blocks. He can't break any blocks. Your faction is your controlled area. So yeah, we're going to go over that stuff in a second. But he essentially can't drop blocks. He can't put blocks down or pick anything up. So let's go back out. And if I were to have built this and then, say, went to this block and claimed, and then I went to this block and claimed, and I'm not going to actually go around and do all of them, but you get the idea. I'm going to claim all the blocks around this one block, so making sure that every corner now is protected around my base. And again, you can test this with your guys that are in your faction. Kick them out, have them try and tower up, jump in, whatever you need to do to make sure that they can't get in. But at this point now, faction, even if he wanted to, wouldn't be able to get over this wall. If I built my... What can you get to, faction? Can you just try? How high can you get using the jump?
Yeah.
I think you can get about 3 or 4. So you can see, using a bit of a bug in the game, he can get to about 4 or 5, but there's no way he's going to be able to scale that wall just by doing it this way. So, keep that in mind. Make sure you're planning, your walls are big. Don't make stupid... I mean, you can make things that look cool over doors, but if I do something like this to make a really cool, I don't know what the hell you'd call it, like entranceway, I've just given faction away. You can see now, if he hops up there, he's easily going to be able to get over that and be onto our wall. So there you go, he's in. So, plan ahead, guys. Make sure you're thinking this stuff through. There are there's nothing we can do as a server about that. So it's just part of the game. So make sure you think about that kind of stuff before you plan, get your base going. Make sure you set it up the way it's going to be safe. But at this point right now, the only place the faction's going to be able to build... Well, how far out are we? Where are we? come here, faction. Where's the closest you can build? This one, I think, right there. Yeah.
Here.
So at this point, the closest faction is going to be able to build is right here. So he could tower up really high and attempt to jump. He's going to have to go... There's no way you can do that, can you, faction? I mean, you're going to die. Unless you get lucky and get a roll or a graceful roll, the chances of him jumping, even from max height, and getting into the base is going to be very low, especially living. There he goes. Now he lived because he has God on. Again, poor planning. There's no way he's going to live normally, though. There you go. So, you know, make sure that you have the outside areas, and if you want to make your base bigger, that's great, make it bigger, but always make sure that you're protecting the areas. You know, go one extra area and claim out, and make sure that you have that protected, because when you build right along the edge, you're going to just, it's a waste. I mean, people are going to be able to get into your base, so think about that beforehand. Build, you know, if you need to build, I think I've got on, so I'm just going to jump. If you need to build, oh, I got a roll. I didn't have a gun. So yeah, just plan ahead, guys. Make sure, don't come on the chat and start bitching to us because your group got overrun or something happened to your base. If you're not planning ahead and making sure that this stuff's sorted out, it's survival. If somebody's going to attack you, tough balls. You're just going to have to deal with it. So plan ahead. Make sure you're claiming areas outside of the area so that you don't have to worry about somebody just towering straight in. The only other thing we're going to go over is if faction comes in here. The way that chests work in a faction is any chest that is just regularly placed inside a faction is open to anybody who can get into your faction as long as some member of that faction is online. If I were to log off right now, faction would not be able to open any of the chests that are here. But as long as I'm online, any regular chest, just like this one here, which there's no protection on it, anyone that comes in here is going to be able to open, take stuff out of, do whatever they want. That's assuming that one member at least of the faction is currently online. However, if you're using your LWC protection, which we also have a video for that, so I'm not going to go into how that's done, watch the video for it. Regardless of whether I'm online or offline, no one from any other faction, even my own faction, can open this chest unless I've added them in the command for adding players. So you can see if I open this, it tells me that this private chest is locked by me. So that means that no matter what, even if we get raided, even if somebody takes over this plot and they actually manage to take control of this piece of land, they still aren't going to be able to open that chest. So everybody has one. Don't complain if your stuff gets stolen. You don't need to store it in your, you don't have to use these protections in like Rosewood and Water's Edge. If you own a lot, that lot's protected. You don't have to waste these protections on there, so use them with your factions. If you need to add other players' names that you trust, then do that. If you're VIP, you get 3, so that's plenty of chests to have blocked and protected, and keep your dirt and other garbage just in the regular ones that you're not going to cry about if somebody steals. I think that's it, eh, faction? Does that cover most of the stuff the faction stuff?
Yeah, pretty much. Maybe, I don't know, a little tour of the gym?
Yeah, that's awesome, actually. Really good idea. Let's go back to, where should we go? Spawn? I'll go right there.
I don't know.
Actually, I'm going to put you in jail so we can show them. Just because that's awesome. Oh, control's back. Okay, so this is... Faction and I... Whoa. When you see that in the video, faction, you're going to crap your pants. Okay, so we needed something that was set up as a jail on the server. We're going to be increasing the number of moderators that we have on the server. It's getting really busy now. There's no way, just with the 2 of us as admin or as gods and the few admins that we have, just aren't going to be able to keep up. So we're going to be increasing the amount of moderators that we have on the server. If you're interested, it's based on activity and maturity. So, if you're on a lot and you're not a retard, if I'm allowed to say that, whatever, I don't care. If you sort of fall within that group, we're definitely interested. We need more people because it is getting busier. the jail is going to be used for people who, if you come on the server and you type /rules, our rules are really simple. Use our website, don't be a dick, and any hack, dupe, or cheating, you're going to get banned. That's it. We don't go over the top with our rules. It's pretty simple. Number 3 is that's my most irritating one. If you come on this server with an X-ray, I'm going to ban you because you piss me off. And I will catch you. Anyway, so they're pretty simple. Don't be a dick is pretty much the main one. It sort of trumps everything. We don't censor our chat. If you're going to come on here and swear like a retard and you're going to be racist and you're going to be anything like that, expect that somebody's going to deal with you. It sort of falls into that don't be a dick category. Moderators, that's what their job is going to be. It's basically going to be to sort of, I guess, police the server, you could say. Yeah, and so the jail sort
Yeah,
of fits with that. And so our moderators and above are going to have access to our new jail commands. We've had them before, but we wanted to actually make a jail that sort of fit how awesome it is. So this is a jail that Faction and I built. I will give almost 100% of the credit to him. I was here. I kind of helped design stuff, but all the wiring and the awesomeness that's inside of it was done by him. So how's it work? That's the visitor entrance down there, and I think the plan is we're going to add a portal. Yeah, there will be a portal. I'm not sure which one it'll be attached to, but there will be a portal somewhere in the portal room, maybe upstairs. We'll add a new one. I'm not really sure yet. That'll allow you to come to the jail as a visitor. You won't be able to get up here, but you'll be able to come in through this gate, through this sort of walkway, through that gate and through this walkway, and you'll end up underneath here down there. So how it works is if you are jailed, so I'm just going to drop myself into the little command center we have here. So this is the command center of the jail. It basically allows us to control everything that's happening in the jail. So let's go ahead and, man, I'm getting rolls like crazy. Let's jail Faction. And we're going to jail him for 5 minutes. And we're going to say because, what should we say? What's a good reason? I don't have one, so I'm just going to put silly. Alright, so it just tells us that the player was jailed. The cool thing that we added, and again this is more for fun, was the ability for whoever is up here, if somebody happens to be, to find out which jail he's under. So you can see the 5 is lit up there, and you can see him moving around. Anytime that there's a player in there, the person who is up here will actually be able to see what jail cell is currently being used. You can actually, every single door down there, we'll go take a look down there as to what Faction is seeing. Every door, though, that is down here is controllable from up in the command center there, which is pretty awesome. So here's Faction. He's sitting in his little room. We'll just hop in here just to show everybody what it's like. Pretty boring. When you come in here, all your stuff's going to get taken away. It's actually going to be stored in your chest, but you can't open it. You'll get it once you're removed from jail. We are not going to default you to muted, but if you continue to be a pain in the ass, moderators will mute you and you can just sit here quietly for the rest of your time. These are the rules, pretty simple. If you break any of the rules, it's going to add time to your time in jail. You can see if you look out your window, it'll tell you right there, Faction 90, he's got 4 minutes left in his jail. And what was his reason? It was for silly, because I was completely uncreative at the time. If you're really bored, go ahead and click the books. You can read. But anyway, these are the doors that actually can open up. Maybe we'll open one in just a second here and show you. There's not really... What's that?
like you can also show the sign. It's
Oh yeah,
like
that's
if I
right. So
break a
if we
glass,
watch and Faction's an
I,
idiot and decides that he's going to break through iron blocks, if he goes and tries to break the glass, you can see here it's tacking on 5 minutes every single time that he hits that glass. And if you're going to rack up that number, that's your own damn fault. We're not going to bring you out of jail. You're going to sit there if you just continue hitting it. So if we go up here and what is he in 5 east, we find, oh no, 5 west. That's why I put the big letters there. If we go and hit this just for fun, there's not really anything down here. We kind of just did this, again, it's more just for cool sake. But you can see the doors open and it actually all links. There's a path that goes behind all of the jail cells. Also down this way we have, do we have it? Is it still open on this side? No. It's not open
what?
here. There will be an opening, but this is how jail.
No.
Maybe some, I don't know. Maybe some prisoners come by boat. That's how we bring our prisoners in. You're trapped by boat. Anyway, there should be a door here, and we bring our prisoners in. So, Faction, can you go back into your cell there, just so I can show one more thing? Let me know when you're in there. Are you in it?
Yep. No.
Alright, come on now. Okay, so I'll just close the door back
Okay,
up so
I'm
you
in
can
it.
see the light went on, so we know the Faction's in there and he's locked in. If we go back to... I'm just going to vanish so people aren't following me around. Again, what I'm doing right here is not allowed on the server. Any speed hack flying, anything like that, we get notification of it and you're banned. So if you want to take the risk, go for it. After the jail time is up, I'm hoping I picked the right one, but I think I did. It only makes sense that when you get out of jail, so if we unjail Faction 90... No, did I pick the wrong one? Oh, there you are.
No,
Took
I'm
a
there.
second. You get released from jail into the courthouse, so that was, again, just more of a for fun thing. So that's the jail system. Hopefully you guys don't see it, but if you do, suck it up and do your time and don't be a dick anymore. I think that's it. I think we're done. Cool. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll
Yeah.
see you on the server. Make sure you're using the website, sexyminecraft.com. There's a ton of information on there, and we don't really have time to go over all the information when you're on the server. So use the website and use Mumble, because there's lots of us on Mumble. It's a little easier for us to talk than to type when we're already trying to do other stuff. So that's pretty much it, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your help again, Faction, and we'll see you guys online.